Teen Titans number 18, written by Scott Lobdell, art by Eddie Barrows and Rodney Buscemi. It's I don't even know where to begin with this one. I guess it would be that it is technically a Requiem issue dealing with the death of Damien, but like only in the vaguest sense. So we open with Tim Drake. He's crying over the death of Damien, and he's saying like, "Oh yes, death looks over all of us superheroes, all of us in the Bat family, and just welcomes us when timing is most inconvenient." And we see that that Damien is on top of the Batmobile, I guess, that Tim is sitting in as he's crying and just being like, "Jesus, Tim, pull it together. You didn't even like me that much." And Tim is just hallucinating Damien there, and Damien saying things like, "Just say you didn't like me as Robin, that you didn't want me to be Robin, and now you get to be Robin again. It's whatever, man." And Tim just breaks down, just like, "Nah, you shouldn't have been Robin. You were 10. You were 10 years old. You should not have been put into that life. There needs to be somebody who protects you. That's why I started the Teen Titans, in order to protect us superhero kids, because the Justice League isn't going to care about us." And so Damien, in his hallucination, also breaks down and hugs him and says, like, "Do it, Tim. Save all of us superhero kids." So then Alfred enters the Batcave and he's like, "Tim, what in the hell are you doing?" As he's just hugging the air. And Alfred's like, "Okay, I get you're grieving. That's cool. But maybe right now you shouldn't be alone. I'm so happy that you have your team, the Teen Titans, that you've opened up to and have shared your grief with." And Tim's like, "Actually, they don't even know my real name." And Alfred's like, "Okay, maybe you should not keep that secret." And then Tim hugs him and just like, "Oh, okay, I'm glad you understand you're not alone." So that point, back on the yacht, Superboy shows up and he's just flying over top of everyone. And he's like, "Hey guys, I just got back from Hell on Earth." And they're like, "Hey, that's cool. Could you maybe land? We're trying to keep some secret identities under wraps." And he's like, "Oh, right, I forgot you guys do that. Sorry." So he lands down, and Cassie makes the remark of like, "Oh, and everyone has their secrets." And then both her and Solstice are like that I made out with Red Robin last issue. Tee hee. And so then Superboy's like, "Hey, I never officially got inducted to the Teen Titans, and now that I'm done with a bunch of that other stuff, is it cool if I'm with you?" And Red Robin's like, yes, that is cool." And everyone's like, "Shouldn't we have a vote or something like that?" And he's like, no. And I need you all in your work uniforms and downstairs in 5. So then they come down into what is essentially the battle room for, like, where he has all of his computers and stuff, and he welcomes him in and says, like, "Here's the thing. Since we've been to Teen Titans, 4 teenagers with powers have died. That is unacceptable. We're going to go and protect them, like, seriously now." And everyone's like, "Do we have, like, a say in this?" And it's like, either you're in or you're out. Like, call it whatever you want. So at that point, he figured everyone would probably be in, so he is moving the ship out to sea, where they're then going to take a helicopter and try to free a kidnapped girl named Tabitha Muntz. And she is currently fighting someone, and we get the glimpse on the screen of who it is. They don't know who it is, but it turns out that it's the same guy who gave Solstice the ability to change out of her form and like control her powers. And I'm blanking on his name right now. It's Lance. It is Kurt Lance. That's it. So at that point, Solstice is like, "Should I tell them that I know him? I don't know." So either way, we then cut to several blocks away at the United Nations. Oh, and by the way, all this is going to be at Belle Reve. They're going to the Suicide Squad, but that'll be later. So anyway, they go to the United Nations. Some other group goes, and turns out that they are this pair of brothers are currently breaking in to get information on the true identity of Solstice, whose name is Kieran Singh, and we see her in her human form. And they're like, "Okay, we're going to use her and like absorb her powers because she's made of light and I'm made of light, so then the whole world's going to see light." Because this is the guy from the beginning of the last issue that was all light or whatever. Anyway, cut to Belle Reve. Amanda Waller's looking for Kurt Lance. She doesn't know where he is either. And then all of a sudden, alarm bells go off, someone breaking into Belle Reve. We see Harley, Deadshot, and King Shark or Killer Shark are regarding or answering the alarm. And as they see the Teen Titans, they're like, oh, they're so cute and tiny. I kind of just want to keep one as a pet. What are you going to do to us? And Superboy lands a punch on, it is King Shark. I don't know why they call him Killer Shark in this. It's definitely King Shark. And then Flash is out running Deadshot's bullets. So, it's just a standard-ass fight scene. But then Robin makes his way towards Amanda Waller. She pulls a gun on him, and he's just like, look, I know you've been looking for us. I know you've been tailing us. What do you want? And she's like, oh, I just want to know about your field trip to nowhere and all that sort of stuff. So what's going on? She's like, look, I'm here strictly because I'm here to cut a deal with you. And he gives that weird, creepy smile he gave at the last issue. And he says, this will be for the benefit of everyone. So the fight's continuing outside, and everyone is just up on each other until Waller and Red Robin come out and it's like, hey, everyone stop. We cut a deal. They can go. And Waller tells Tim, like, you just got the worst side of this deal. Even if you don't realize it, one day you're going to regret it. And Tim's like, oh, well, that's what you don't understand. We don't trust anybody. So we know this deal isn't going to stand. And Kid Flash is like, hey, didn't we come here to, like, save a girl? And Red Robin's just like, there was no girl. I'll explain later. So then we go out to Times Square where that dude who can kill people with a thought kills a cab driver who nearly hits him with a thought. And then everyone looks up at the sky and Trigon shows up riding a two-headed horse. And he says, kneel before the power of Trigon. Okay. The first 3 pages are good, where Tim has a mental breakdown and is like grieving over the loss of another Robin. Yeah, I like that. That was fine. Pretty much everything after that point, though, seems stupid. I mean, the Superboy thing was okay, and the fact that they were going to rescue a girl is okay, but then you work in the Suicide Squad, you work in this weird fact that Tim is, like, maybe evil now. I don't know. And then the whole, like, oh, yeah, we're stealing the identity of Kieran from this United Nations filing cabinet. And it's the issue of he's running too many plots at once. And this has always been an issue in this book where he just has like 50 things he wants to do and doesn't just focus on any one of them. He's got to set up 3 plots from now, right now. So, yeah, no, I'm just annoyed with it. I'm barely remembering the Trigon plot and that guy who can kill people with his brain and the guy made of light plots all at the same time because I'm more interested in the Tim plot because you've given me information on that character. I am attached to that character. If you want me to care about the other ones, spend time with them. Sorry. I just really am annoyed at this book. So I'm going to give this one I'm going to give it like a 2.5. It's just a disconnected mess. And I'm sure in the end it's going to come together to be something. But issue to issue, that doesn't make this any better. Knowing that there's a finish line doesn't make this horrible part of it any more endurable. So yeah, giving it like a 2.5. I'm sick of this writing style and I want it to stop.